Hello and welcome to Fort Worth Writers Boot Camp's Facebook Live on Sundays. We meet every other Sunday. Our next Sunday that we're going to be meeting is going to be July 1st at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. So I want to go ahead and get started. My name is Rachel Pilcher. I'm the founder of Fort Worth Writers Boot Camp. I would like for each one of you, whenever you come on board, to go ahead and take a moment and introduce yourself and tell us where you're from. So, let's go ahead and get started. Becoming a healthy writer, that is the topic for episode 5. The art of writing is applying the seat of your pants to the seat of the chair. That's a quote that is attributed to Mary Heaton Vorst. And basically what it means is that writers have to sit down to write. So, in sitting down and writing, you're not moving around very much. You're not probably doing the most healthy things that you could. So your goal needs to be to not only be a productive writer, but also keep yourself healthy as you're getting all of your writing done. So some of the tips that I have for tonight are going to be about how you can keep yourself healthy without being ridiculously crazy about it. Hi Leslie, it's good to see you, Haltom City. I kind of know the place a little bit. That's where I'm from too. So in keeping yourself healthy, I think one of the most important things that I do as a writer to help me keep my brain function going and doing what I need to do is getting enough sleep. So whether you are a morning person or a night owl, getting plenty of rest is good for your creative process. It's always recommended that you get 8 hours. There's a lot of times where you don't get all those 8 hours at once. Napping is always a good thing, but 8 hours at some point during the day is optimal. I know during the school year especially, because I'm a high school librarian, I have a hard time getting those 8 hours in sometimes. I have to be at work by 7:30, so that means I'm up 5:30, 6 o'clock, depending on what I have going on during the mornings. So it's hard to get that 8 hours. That means I go to bed at 9 o'clock. And sometimes I don't go right to sleep at 9 o'clock. So getting plenty of sleep is optimal. Hi Sharon, thanks for joining. The second tip that I have for you is diet. Now this is not creating some kind of diet manifesto where you have to eat specific foods or doing anything that is going to do major shopping and cooking stuff that people don't always have time to do when they're writing, but also don't ever think about really doing. But it's just making sure that you eat regular meals. So eat 3 to 5 meals a day, depending on if you're eating small meals or large meals. If you're eating large meals, don't eat 5 large meals. That's a lot of food. But eat regular meals at regular times. Eating regularly is good for brain function. If you go for long periods of time without doing what you need to do for your body, it's hard for your body to to maintain your creativity the way it should. I always keep a little jar of almonds on my desk just so that I can have a snack, and if I feel like I need something in between, now they're not salted almonds, they're not roasted almonds, just raw almonds. And I also try to make sure that I keep hydrated. Keeping hydrated is it's not only good for cleaning your system out, but it's good for exercise, because it does end up getting you up every once in a while. Sometimes it's getting up to refill your cup, whether it's tea or water or coffee, other things that people like to drink whenever they're writing. Not so much. It's not always good with the creative process. It does help to loosen it up. I'm talking about alcohol here, but you know, it doesn't usually work with my creative process. It usually just makes me sleepy, and then I go get my 8 hours of sleep. But getting up to go to the restroom also helps you get moving and getting some exercise. That is my third tip. So the different kinds of things you can do. You don't have to go to a gym and work out if that's not your thing. So it's good to do something. So I practice yoga. I go to a studio to do that. And I also practice a dance called Mia. I do that 3 times a week. I do yoga twice a week. But you can, if you do yoga, you can do it in your living room. There's even desk yoga you can do while you're writing. If you need to sit back and just take a break and meditate a bit, that's good for you. You can get up and go take a walk. I know here in Texas it's kind of hot, so depending on what time you're riding, getting up and taking a walk might be something you'll want to do at 6 a.m. Or at 8 p.m. So in the middle of the day, it's a little warm unless you're going to the mall or something and walking. But doing that kind of stuff, that is good for you. And mowing the yard. I get a lot of thinking done when I'm mowing the yard. I try to mow the yard early in the morning because, like I said, Texas, hot. But there are all kinds of things that you can do to get your body moving that don't really involve, getting up, leaving, going to a gym. So, just don't always sit at your desk. That's the prime thing. And the fourth topic that I have for you is multitasking. Eliminate it as much as you can. I am the worst offender at multitasking. I usually have 5,000 things that I've got going on at one time, and I hate to say it, that's not much of an exaggeration. I have, well, it's a little bit. There may be 500, but I have at least 10 tabs open on my computer every time I open it up. And to be able to get your mind at ease so that you can create, you need to eliminate having all those tabs, whether it's tabs in life or tabs on your computer open. It's just hard to concentrate whenever you have everything else going on. And choosing one thing and getting it done and then going on to the next thing is the best way to eliminate the multitasking. And I do find, and this is something that I've had to make a personal choice for, is that if especially during summer, I spend all of summer trying to make up for everything that I don't get done during the school year. But I have to, if I know that I have clothes I need to fold, or if I have dishes that need to be washed, or if I have other things that I need to do, I have to get those done very first thing, or at night before I go to bed. That way, whenever I get up the next morning, I either know what I need to do and get that done, and then I can sit down and write, or I will be sitting at my desk contemplating on what I need to write, and then thinking, I really do need to take that trash out. I really have to clean out that litter box. And it's not something that you need to be concentrating on whenever you're trying to write a story. So eliminating multitasking, big thing. Lots of people have to do it, but it's part of keeping your brain healthy so that you can be open to writing. And finally, one of the things I'd like to talk to y'all about, and of course if y'all have different things that y'all do to help make yourself healthy as writers, as creatives, go ahead and throw them up on the comment section, and I'll be glad to call it out and say, hey, yeah, that's a great idea. Also, if you're watching this in the replay, definitely put your comments down. People do come back and look at it and watch the replays after. I know 6 p.m. on a Sunday kind of gets into some people's time schedules, so if you're watching on the replay, I get lots of people that do that, so feel free to make comments at that point too. So the final tip that I have for you is to have a secondary hobby. Now for a lot of you, you work day jobs, and writing is kind of your secondary hobby. It's not really something you want to be a hobby. You would love to have it as a full-time job. But having something else that you do as well is something that helps free your mind up and gives you just one more creative outlet so that you're not overwhelming your brain. So that would be, something like playing music, whether it's, you actually participate in playing music, you play an instrument, you play in a band, you go in, maybe you go to concerts, that is kind of participating in music, or you just play the radio, play a CD, listen to iTunes, find something that you really like on Spotify. I think I've hit all of those now. But just listen to music. That'll help clear your brain so that you're able to actually then focus on your writing. Reading. I'm a huge proponent of reading. Being a librarian, it makes perfect sense that that's what I would do. But, I truly believe that if you are a writer, you need to be a reader. There's just nothing to it saying that, I've heard several people say, I want to write and I have all these stories in my head, but I don't read. So, how do I become a writer? It's like, well, first, jot down your ideas, but also read so that you can be influenced by other types of writing. Not necessarily influenced, but it can help you understand the processes, help you understand how everything is put together in a story. You can read people that have been published, so it gives you an idea of what published writing looks like. But that helps improve your storytelling skills, and it helps you improve your ability to create. So reading is definitely something that you can use as a secondary hobby to make you a healthier writer. I know plenty of writers that knit or do fabric art, so they sew. That is something that's really good to do with your hands, and it keeps you nimble. And a lot of thinking can go on besides just concentrating on getting a stitch correct. And then one of my all-time favorite secondary hobbies is gardening. I love sticking things in the ground, pulling weeds out, getting things watered, and getting my hands dirty, and just thinking about how things are going to be, because that is part of building imagination. Whether you can see it or not, building imagination is one of those activities that whenever you're gardening, you're imagining what your garden is going to look like when it's growing, when it has gotten to its potential. So just find something, though, that is a great secondary hobby for you, and use that as part of the clearing of your mind for whenever you are trying to write. So that's what I have for you tonight, and I hope that y'all have a great evening. For all of you fathers out there, happy Father's Day. We will be meeting again on July the 1st, Sunday, July 1st at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. The topic is going to be planning your writing time. I know I've talked quite a bit about planning things, so this will just be a carry-on of that. So thank you again. My name is Rachel Pilcher. Y'all have a great evening and enjoy your Sunday.